something that I noticed about, I really loved about watching Hibaro is the the there's a sense of like tangible realism to it, and talking to or listening to people who do like animation and VFX over the years, I always have this mental checklist where when I watch something, I notice like, okay, how many textures, how many water simulations or liquid simulations, and then as I'm watching this one um, play out, my checklist just going crazy. Did you intentionally put as many difficult things into this episode as possible, or how did you wind
Yeah.
up going this direction? Was that purposeful or incidental?
Yeah, I mean, it was a total technical challenge for real. And when I was coming up with my team with the design of the girl full of chains, and then it's gonna be colliding with water. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, can we simplify that?" But I needed to be like that. I imagine it to be like that. Everything made sense when you see it. Obviously, there is like different ways that you can do it. You can simplify it. You can put the camera looking somewhere else so you can avoid doing things. But I love technology and I like to push the boundaries, especially visually, not for the sake of just pushing the boundaries, but to serve the story. So I thought that that was the right way to do. It was suffering, but we end up doing it, which is cool. We finish it.
Yeah, I thought that was the most impressive thing about it, especially with that mental checklist going. I'm noticing um, all of the different textures you've got. There's the reflections, there's the liquids. You've got the mixing liquids. You've got particles in liquid. You've got the chains and the gold and the reflections, and all the plant life and the wind going through that. Um, but then the character motion is also so realistic. But
Yeah.
was that motion capture or was that done manually?
No, it's keyframe animation. But what I like to do is to record animation reference from, in this case, uh, we had a choreographer, Sarah Silkin, that she did that really cool job, and we were basically for 2 weeks rehearsing, trying to figure where are the movements, where are the motivation of the characters, how do they move, how do they dance, how they communicate all these feelings through dancing, and even the nights. I thought it was very interesting to use dancers rather than, stone actors or martial art actors, just because,
Yeah.
you know, the, they control their movement and it's usually really fast how they move, dancers. And it was almost like extra violent somehow. So what we do is basically we record everything in different angles, close-ups for the facials, and yes, we animate based on those reference.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so especially with the level of difficulty, to sort of take it to the next level, like you're talking about with the animating, the dancing and everything, then you've also on top of that, you chose a story that with like the siren story, but you chose to portray sort of a dual morality. Normally it's only the one side of the like the temptation, but you actually gave a morality to both sides of the equation here, and decided to do it entirely in a non-verbal there's no dialogue, and so it's all, not only are you dependent on all these visual choices you've made, but that's also they're all storytelling decisions. How did you did you have like a main focus about what specific aspect of the animation you were going to use to tell the story? Obviously there's a cocktail that goes into that, but did you have a an entry point as far as like here's the kind of main visual storytelling tool that you used?
Yeah, well, I wanted to do something that obviously visually is something that I know how to do. It's like I've been doing it for years. I'm a self-taught artist, and basically I came up with a style that works for me. In terms of like having some sort of like a non-verbal uh, film, like you can actually solve a lot of things having a narrator, for example. But I wanted to be a little bit abstract in a way, and I wanted also people to have their own conclusions. So because nothing is really explained, it's basically visuals trying to tell you as accurate as possible what's going on with the characters. I like it because everybody might gonna have different versions of the film. You might need to watch it twice. You might need to watch it 3 times. Who knows? Nothing is too much, you know, on the face, super explained.
Awesome. Well, I guess that's all the time we have, but thanks for answering my questions. It's great. I think it's really ambitious what you decided to do, and the fact that you pull it off. It's a really cool thing to see in animation. So thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.